Are you new to watercolor? Maybe you're not, but you're getting frustrated with painting flowers and it's just not coming out for you. I have a lot of students that tell me they can't paint watercolor florals. So today in the video, I'm offering 3 methods to try to just have a little bit of a game-changing experience. Maybe there's 1 or 2 that really resonate with you, and hopefully it can be something that you can start to practice and it might even become your style. So let's get to painting. All right, so I am going to be grabbing my filbert brush today. Hang on a second. Let me go ahead and get my pencil ready. I do want to use some pencils today. I'm using a colored pencil, but you might want to use a pencil that is erasable. I'm just going to go for it, bold marks here. So I'm going to be doing a very loose center, and that is one of my first tips today. If you're not really digging the watercolor florals and it's really hard for you, then try something new. Try some sketching with your watercolor and see how that makes a difference for you. So I've made this really wonky center, and I'm using the red. Of course, if you don't feel comfortable with a pencil that you can't erase, then use an erasable one, and there's no shame in that. You could always add some color over the top later. And so we'll be talking more about sketching later. I just thought it would be fun to add that first layer, that first middle, I should say, with a sketch. So the second tip is to use an unfamiliar brush. As I'm swooping some petals around with this filbert, I do 2 brush strokes, so one and then the other, to create 1 brush stroke, 1 petal. And so I like to change up the colors that I'm using too. I am going from the outside in and just kind of swooping that brush to create that swoopy petal shape. I'm going pretty fast here, so if it's a little bit speedy, you can slow down the video to halftime, or you can even pause. I want you guys to not think too much about the process. So if you're using a brush that is a round brush, you're typically used to that. Maybe you're not sure how to make it do what you want it to do. Try something new. We're going to just go with something wonky. You might feel it's unfamiliar and that feels scary, but guess what? We're going to tell ourselves it's okay to try new things. We might not know how to use it, but using a big brush, using a brush that creates different shapes, and here you can see it's so rounded, just can be really fun to make your practice a little bit different. And so let's go ahead and paint the second flower. I'm not using the sketchy middle, but we're just practicing. I think that's what's so important. Just twisting and turning the brush and seeing what marks we can create on our paper. I love to go from the outside in. That for me feels like the most comfortable way to create your petals, but you might want to paint from the inside out. With a filbert, of course, you've got the rounded tip. And if you go from the inside out, you're not going to have that rounded tip, if that makes sense. So it's good to kind of practice this. I'm doing a little wet on wet here too, just more saturated paint over the top of the petals. And I am doing a voiceover if you hadn't noticed it today, because it's giving me the chance as I'm painting this without having to talk to just be more creative and kind of go with the flow. So now, again, for that first tip I was talking about is sketching first. And I am trying to sketch the bud of a peony. So I have it in my hand in my reference off of the camera here, and I'm just trying to create those folds of those petals. So you might want to just watch this until I have the whole thing sketched in, and then just kind of go one little petal after another, or maybe you just want to try it with me and that's totally fine too. It looks kind of wonky right now, but the way that a peony, it's not even a bud, it's starting to kind of open up, but it still has that really round shape like a bud. There's so many folds and petals that are just bunched together, and just painting that would be kind of challenging, but adding the sketch first, well, with a colored pencil, it makes it really fun and fancy, but it gets your edges on there first. It's easier because when you lay down your color, that's going to be the easier part once you have your sketch in there. And I'm adding in some leaves too. You're not having to worry about how do I create this really multi-layered flower just with watercolor. The edges are there, and now you just get to kind of paint in like you're in a coloring book. So I've got some leaves on here, just really loose. I chose red today because I thought That would be a lovely color. It's not going to stand out too much with my green leaves, maybe with the green leaves, but not so much with the pink flowers. And so I'm just kind of thinking, how do I fill this out with leaves that make it feel fun and interesting? Now, this is my favorite part. Now we're going to start adding in the watercolor over the top, and you don't have to be super worried about it. Look at how fast I'm putting this in, just kind of adding in that layer, and then you can start to put in maybe some darker marks as things are starting to dry. But just really easy. It's like sometimes we get so stuck in our process and something that's not working for us, and we just want to give up completely. And so that's where I'm trying to help you see a little bit differently and maybe find a different style that will work well for you in the place that you're at today. So it's sort of like sketching can be difficult and it can be hard and it can be daunting, especially if it's new for you. But why not try something new? Because then once your edges are there, you can compliment yourself, you tried something new, but you just simply put in the colors you like. Maybe add in some darker shades of greens for those leaves just to create some highlight and some contrast and some shadow. Just like I'm going to put in a little bit of some pink, darker pink here, and where I feel the shadows would be, where those little petals are kind of tucked in. And it's just a different way, and you might find that you actually enjoy that sketching and drawing process. I have a lot of students that say they don't like to draw, but I also didn't like to draw. Now you can see that this paint is spreading all crazy, so I'm just taking actually my smaller filbert brush, and it's dry, and I'm just blending those colors to soften those lines and just to create, that little bit of shadow just for fun, but nothing too bold and fancy. Pretty easy peasy in the way that I like to see it. So adding that sketch first can be quite powerful to change your experience. We're going to add in some concentrated yellow. So just dipping your brush into that well, and then you're just adding your center to your peony. If your layers have not dried with your flower, you're obviously going to get some spreading and bleeding of that color, but I definitely recommend to dry your first layer first. But that's really a personal choice. Things can spread, and that's what watercolor does, really. So now I'm using a dark brown, pretty concentrated, to create a different floral here center. And I have that sketch, remember that, because I wanted to start with something bold and just an anchoring point where I've got the watercolor that surrounds it, but the sketch goes down first. And of course, with this second one here that we did, I didn't do that. And so just a little bit different. We're adding some brown to the edges, and that's definitely going to spread in some beautiful reddish brown and then some darker brown. Allow that to kind of spread and melt together. And you can see the differences, what those flowers look like based on those beautiful centers. So I'm taking a more concentrated paint here and adding it over the top. My peonies are definitely dry enough. They may not be for you, and of course, just test it, touch the paper and see if it's still a little cool. That means it is still damp. So putting in two different colors here, I'm just going really fast. I'm honestly trying not to overthink the details. When we overthink, we start to panic. And we start to get a little bit worried about our whole process, and that's just not good to be in a state of panic when we're creating art. So you can see the brush strokes here are so fast. Again, slow it down or pause the video if you need to catch up, or you can just watch and kind of see what comes out of this creative process. The big inspiration for me for doing this was my friend's beautiful florals from her garden. She gave me some beautiful peonies that, oh my goodness, one of them, which I'm going to paint next, was a white one, and it was absolutely so smelly in a good way, fragrant and perfumey, and it gave me so much joy. I don't know if you've experienced that joy where you have a bouquet of flowers that came from someone that thinks you're special, whether they purchased the flowers or they picked them or they grew them themselves. But it's so fun to have that as a reference for your art, and being able to see it in person it has a quite calming effect on the body. So my third tip, of course, we are still using that maybe unfamiliar brush to you. Is familiar to me because it's part of my brush collection and I love this shape, but using a brush, that presses your boundaries. But the other tip that I wanted to mention is to make blobby flowers okay? It takes the pressure off in this way too. I'm just kind of twisting and turning the brush and adding these blobby marks really around in the circle to create the shape of this very loose flower. And I've used kind of a very watered down brown. You can see that I'm leaving some white space in between. It's just that first layer, so it's not something you have to think about too much. I would maybe take a whole sheet of paper and try your hand at doing some blobby flowers over and over until you start to feel comfortable with that concept. It's a little abstract, but it's quite a great practice. And of course, we'll add in some other details when it's dry, but right now you can just poke in some more concentrated paint just to create the little bits of discoloration. The flower that I'm looking at is white, and it's got some browns and some squiggly pink lines, which is pretty incredible. So I'm just using this wet on wet method to emulate that whole thing. And I think it's spreading out kind of nice, taking a clean damp brush and just allowing it to be whatever it is. This is the whole point, taking off the pressure, trying something unique, trying something fun, and maybe you enjoy your process, and then maybe at the end you enjoy the result, but you don't have to. That's not a requirement. And now I'm using a beautiful dark blue-green color to put in my leaves for this flower. I'm making them very wide. As you've noticed, probably all the leaves in this composition on this page are different. And I'm just trying to make sure that we can kind of represent many styles. And it's a great way to practice and figure out the style that you love. Now, you could leave this flower just how it is, or you can add in a second layer when it's dry. I think it's looking pretty great so far. This one to me was my favorite. It was very stress-free and pretty simple to do. So I'm taking a number 6 round brush now with some more intense pink, and I want to go over just those sections where two petals meet, because in reality you're probably going to see a little bit of shadow in between that section. And so just some darker pink. My peony is pretty dry at this point. You know, always double check and make sure it is dry, or else you're going to get more bleeding and spreading, unless that's the effect you're going for, like with the whitish flower that I did there. But if you don't want that to happen, then make sure that first layer is dry. And I am putting it on pretty thick right now, but then we can blend it out, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Now this painting is starting to come to life a little bit more, so clean brush, dab it on your paper towel, and then spread out that shadow mark just a little bit. Make it a little bit more natural and soften those little lines. Now this peony is starting to be a little bit more realistic, although realism is not my style, but you can paint in many styles even if it's not your main one. This whole video is about exploring different styles or techniques that hopefully take the pressure off. And if you feel there's a lot of pressure, walk away from your painting, take a deep breath, remind yourself this is just a fun practice. I'm putting in a little bit of coral color here just to change the look of those outer petals, just for fun. And you can always take a breath, remind yourself it's just a fun little practice. This shouldn't be stressful. Now I have allowed my layers to dry, and now I'm going in with a very dark concentrated color. This is Payne's Gray. It's more of a navy color, and I'm getting that contrast by stippling, doing those tiny little dots or little marks around the outside of the center of this peony, and that's going to create that depth that we're looking for. I always love to do high contrast, and if you want to do that, you definitely want to start with a very light version, that first layer, let it dry, and then more of a mid-tone, a medium layer, a little bit more paint, a little less water, and then finally, once that all is dry, dark, dark color, very minimal marks, very dark, very saturated, and you're going to see your painting start to come to life that way. So adding in that center for the second peony here, which was actually the first one that we did. And, you know, you can see how beautiful that's starting to come together. And then we want to add some depth to our leaves too. You know, my style is just so, I try to be loose and I try to be fast. When I paint faster, I think less. I less overthinking of the process. So just putting in a little bit of that medium or darker color so that you can get that contrast. And, think about how you can use your own intuition when it comes to this painting. How can you add in your own individual marks so that you can make it your own? Maybe the flowers that you create, the shape is a little different, or the paint colors are different than mine. Whatever you can do to change it up and make it your own style, it's wonderful. It gives you that confidence as you're practicing. And now I'm taking a little bit of a darker color here. This is a number 6 round. See how fast I'm doing this. And this is the beauty of not talking while I'm painting. Unfortunately, it can be a little speedy for some, but this is what I feel comfortable with. My brain is just, it's not overthinking. My hand is just kind of putting down the colors. We're using a yellow ochre here in a very watery version of it. And we're just putting little blobs down. You can do this. This is nothing too complicated. A little bit wet on wet here for the middle, just some little curvy lines to accentuate the petals in the center, just like the flower that I have that I'm looking at in my left hand that you can't see, but it's there. So I did put in some darker lines, some veins for the leaves here too, just to accentuate those and get some beautiful depth. I hope you enjoyed painting a little splatter as well. Well, friends, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What was your favorite game-changing method? Maybe that was a little extreme to call it that, but honestly, sometimes when you're feeling that frustration, you need to shake it up. These things may not be things that you've been practicing. I'm hoping to just help you let the pressure off. Also reminding yourself, it doesn't matter if they don't come out. How many times, how many hours, how many sessions have I sat down to paint flowers and I thought, this is crap. I'm just gonna throw this out. So many, more than I can count. So I'm just trying to encourage you, try something. If it works, keep doing it. If it doesn't work, try something else. No pressure. Life has too much pressure and stress. Don't let watercolor be that for you. You've got this. Friends, I've already announced a very exciting and special opportunity on my Patreon, and today I am going to be sending out to my newsletter subscribers as well. Join Patreon if you're not there yet so you can read the announcement. I will be opening up to the general public on Sunday, but why wait till then? You can join for free. You can join at the $1, $3, or $5 level per month, up to you. But either way, I'm so excited for you to find out what it is, but you gotta wait. Unless you join today, you'll find out today. I will not be having a watercolor class on Monday free watercolor class, because I will be visiting my family in California, but we'll start them again sometime, so don't worry. And if you're not sure what to watch next, then watch this one to learn more about bright, vibrant watercolor florals. Happy painting and happy mental health, my friends.